Well, hello. I'm back from my time travel. Back into the Temple of the Sun. That's what this is, I think. So, few things of note from my travels. No, we're not talking just now. One, Mardek, level 18. I did a little bit of grinding for some extra skills and stuff. Secondly, things I couldn't cover last time because I didn't meet them yet. Here is the Drassilon. The Drassilon's a kind of tripedal dragon that lives on Anshar, the homeworld of the Anunnaki. This one, however, is mostly a cyborg. The fleshy head is all that's visible left of its original organic body. It's also been zombified by Moric, which makes it easier to keep that way since it doesn't need to eat and doesn't have emotions. What else? Moric Fox took the body of the Grand Adventurer Social Fox as his own when he performed the soul transfer, as it seemed like the most powerful body in his immediate vicinity when his original body was killed. The hero seems to have retained some of his power from life, but most of his abilities are still Moric's. The Moric Dromas. Dromas are slave races to the Anunnaki, who serve their masters without question or payment. They have a chip implanted into their head at birth to disable any rebellious thoughts. They actually ride in mechanical suits, which helps them perform their assigned duties better. A naked Droma is a frail, useless thing. Like me. And security orbs are mechanical orbs animated by thaumaturgy, which serves as defense mechanisms within Anunnaki ships, destroying anyone who might try to intrude. They're generally attuned to the element of their master. These ones are Earth because Morg was Earth. I feel like that was all the extra bonus bestiaries kind of things. Morg's battleships, it's cool. It's green. Morg prefers to cast spells to raise undead servants to do his bidding instead of using big guns, because he finds that more exciting. I don't know where this missing number 10th spot is, and the Sun Temple's where we are right now. A large temple of Solak, all caps, built in the middle of the desert west of Aeropolis. All new places to us. This design is mainly subterranean, with the ground level and several levels below it, inhabited by priests of Solak who must take a vow of celibacy and isolation, agreeing to spend their lives there praying in devotion. It is unknown why it was built where it is, or who built it. And that's all we're going to go into right now. Actually, one last thing. Social Fox, did they update that he was controlled by Moric? No? Okay, never mind. Dreamstones are new, but we don't need to talk about them yet. Also, cleaned up my inventory just a little bit. Put away some things that don't really matter. Probably could have gotten rid of all these swords and maces and junk. The weapon you get from beating Moric Fox, I think I already talked about the Wolf Sword. It was kind of worthless to use at the time because everything was Earth Element, and it's an Earth Element weapon. And then, compounding the fact of how useless it is, Dugan's the only one who can use it, and, well, he's gone. He died. He fell in the UFO, holding up the Drassilon, which we could have easily beaten within the time frame, so that was silly of him. Anyway. Now to get into Chapter 3 proper. Sir, I am a priest of Solak. Ah, yes he is. How about you, sir? Are you a priest? There are monsters in the depths of the temple. Bleeding evil monsters full of violent soot. They're all crawling down there. I left a parchment down there, and I bet they've touched it again, everything. Ooh, I'll never write another book again. It's enough to drive a man mad. Mad! And you look important. The Solakian High Priest Shamash. You are the royal knight sent to aid us with our plight, yes? Well, that's right. Other thing to note, Mardek has a helmet. I already talked about this. I'm pretty sure I talked about it. Time travel messes with your memory. We heard you were having trouble with monsters in your temple, if you know what I mean. Was that an innuendo? That is correct. Normally there are monsters at the deepest level of the temple, but we generally stay away from those parts anyway, and the monsters are never a bother. Recently, however, the monsters have been ascending, taking up residence in the higher areas and therefore endangering us and hindering our passage through our own temple. There are also some strange monsters amongst them that we have never seen before. Let's be smart, Mardek. When did this start? It started a few days ago. We thought it might be just some monsters being particularly wild, breeding season or something, you know. But we were unable to control them, and they just kept coming more and more. Sounds like breeding season. There was a strange man who entered the temple a day or so before the monsters started becoming wild, however. We suspect he is to blame. Well, what did he look like? I don't see the relevance of that, but he was large, muscled, looked dark, had an eye patch. He was really bossy and arrogant and just thrust himself into the depths of our temple, saying that he just wanted to look around. We let him, as visitors are welcome here, to look around as much as they please, but he did not return, and then the monsters started acting up. Well, we shall look around and solve your problem. Yes, we will explore the temple and try to find this man, and do what we can to help. Worry not, we are the Royal Knights of Gosnor. We always get our job done. I thank you and wish you luck. But wait, there is a device deep within the temple called the Warding Stone, which usually protects us from this sort of thing. I don't know much about it since it's been untouched and unseen since my grandfather's time, but I think it may be significant. Perhaps the Warding Stone is broken or stolen. If that is the case, we have spares for such a scenario. I'll give one to you. I wouldn't know what to do with it, however, but I'm sure you can work it out, oh resourceful knights. Thanks, Shamash. We'll see you. If you're going down into the temple, beware of the lizard people. They're right savage, you know. One once bit my leg off in one bite. But you have 2 legs now. I thank you not to draw attention to the problem. It's hard enough to live with it as it is without people like you, sir, mocking me endlessly for my crippling disability. Watching this flame burn reminds me of my life. Hot, yellow, flickering, constant yet chaotic within boundaries, and dull as hell. We're just gonna get a lay of the land, talk to our good priest friends here. That's all we're gonna do for a little bit. Hello, this is a book about shopping. Speaking of which, buy some items from me. I sell them, you see. See? Well, nothing cool, potions and all, but we can trade out all of our swords and junk that we don't need anymore. I should have done this off screen. Or keeping the Keyblade. I put the Shadow Blade on Mardek so he could learn the degeneration effect, and maybe Dark Attribute might help here. Maybe not, though. It is a light kind of place, huh? We'll find out. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Great Axe. I don't need that. I don't need that. We won't need the rods. Because where's Emila? Off gallivanting around the universe. I'll keep a shield just in case somebody comes up that needs a shield. You never know. We don't need this. We don't need this. Do we need this? No. Yes? No. Worst comes to worst, I would just buy them back from this guy. Because I'm rich. Beyond your wildest dreams. I keep all the money I own in the world in an ornate treasure chest over there. Oh, whoops. I've been saving up for years. I'd probably consider suicide if it was stolen, you know, because my life would be ruined. My girlfriend would leave me, and so on. Or she would if I had one. Being a priest, I don't really see many girls at all, you know, since we have to live in this remote temple and swear a vow of celibacy and so on. A shame, too, what with my stunning good looks. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. That's what I tell myself. And it hasn't worked out for me. 3,000 gold, huh? That's your life savings? 10% of what I have? Huh. Anyway. So there's a door here, and a door on the right side with a couple more NPCs to chat up. So we'll chat them up, and figure out where I want to go. I have no hair. You noticed, didn't you? I had to become a Solakian priest because I was so ashamed of being bald. Wah! I bought some hair tonic from a shifty peddler in Aeropolis, but it didn't work. I thought it'd grow hair that wasn't there, but it doesn't. It just makes your hair silky and smooth. If only I had hair to make silky and smooth, hair I could show off anyway. Oh. The plight of the bald. Oh, hello there. You're the knights who are meant to be going down to the lower levels, right? Splendid. I have a favor to ask of you. I mean, since you'll be going down there anyway. You see, the monsters in the lower levels only appeared recently. When they did, we had to evacuate the lower levels, but not all of us got out. Some of the priests were either too absorbed in their studies or meditation or reading or just, milking their snakes and couldn't get out fast enough. We were too scared to go down and help them ourselves. We're only like level 1, despite lifetimes of prostitution, and the monsters down there are at least level 10. But now that you're here, you're our shining ray of hope. I hope you'll go and rescue them, yes? I won't take no, I don't want to do this, and I want them to die as an answer. Here, just take these warp stones to the 4 priests, 1 for each. With them, they can escape safely. Come back if you save them all, and I'll make it worth your while. I promise, big boy. I didn't want it. I didn't want it. Alright, we're going to the left door. The left side door. Which leads to more priests. Usually these 2 portals here lead to places, but I think that the dark energy or whatever is interfering with their magicness. Yes, so they're broken. Oh. How unfortunate. I bet you could wish this. I bet you I could read. I bet you wish you could read this book, don't you? Well, you can't. You simply can't. Why not? Because it's too hard for you. That's why. That is true. It was too hard for me. Wait. Well, the shopping book. What's that about? It can't even tell me. That guy could have been lying to me. I'm just gonna leave now. Go to the overworld. But no, Captain Donovan here. We've still got work to do here, Mardek. We can't just run away or go shopping. People need our help, and we can't leave until we're sure everyone is safe and happy. Everyone! See, I can't tell if that extra 1 at the end of his sentence was a typo. They just forgot to hold shift there. Or did he mean to put it there? Because it's a funny little thing to do. Huh. Royal Knights, that's what we are indeed. It's such a great honor, such a great feeling to know that we're actually helping these people in need. Isn't it so invigorating and exciting, Sharla? It is, but I'm sort of scared. Don't worry, I'll be here to protect you, and I'm sure the monsters won't stand against our amazing magical power. I wanted him to say, I'm sure the monsters won't stand a chance against our amazing magical power. Oh, and Mardek's with us too, of course, and we all know how good he is at this sort of thing. You've been doing this for 3 years, right, Mardek? And every mission has been a quick success. Well, I am that great. You are indeed. You'd make Social Fox proud, you know? Well, I am trying my best. By myself. Trying to make Dugan proud. Oh, but you're not alone, Mardek. You still have Sharla and I, and we shall try our best, too. We're new at this Royal Knight thing, but we'll prove that we're worthy of the title. I can't imagine these Knight missions are too much harder than the Guard ones. So come on, let's go. But who will remind me of the menus and controls, and I'll get all confused and not know what he's talking about? Who will tell me that A opens the menu, and you have to use rusty keys on reactions in battle and stuff? You mean you don't already know all that? And here we are, depending on your experienced leadership. I thought you were Sir Mardek, the reliable and powerful Royal Knight of Gosnor. You're a legend, you know. You inspire everyone in the Guard, and even the Knights, carrying on with vigor and lightheartedness despite your great loss. But to keep inspiring them, you have to keep it up. Dugan wouldn't want you moping around the past, would he? Now's your time to shine and make him proud. So come on, Sir Mardek, let's just focus on the task at hand, eh? Speaking of task at hand, Rohaf, tell me. Oh, good. Backstory of Rohaf. Now you can't tell that Rohaf is possessing Mardek because his visor's down, so you can't see his eyes glowing. Yes, Mardek, do you want to hear more of my terrific backstory? Well, yes, please. What would you like to know? Well, tell me more about this government of Magi's that you were in. It sounds exciting, like some secret club. Sigh. As you wish, if only to rid you of your wearisome ignorance on the matter. The Governance de Magi was not merely a secret club. We were the rulers of Anshar, and the most powerful beings on the planet too, in terms of magical ability as well as authority. Not to brag, of course. You see, we Anunnaki are a very magical society. We focused on teaching and learning magic in very organized ways, rather than this irritating, let's see what I picked up over the years, approach to thaumaturgic accumulation that you people on this world seem to follow. We had several prestigious schools, each devoted to a separate element of magical study. I went to the light one, for example, which taught me how to be a healer. The system is very hierarchical, based on intelligence and talent. The more skilled and experienced students teach the less skilled, and so on. There are many levels of skill in each school, in which we each ascend if we are competent enough. Like the knights and guards and stuff in the Royal Guard? Yes, sort of, though none of us have actual labeled ranks. We are each individuals rather than mere members of a specific class. We are not teachers or students, but both simultaneously. The wisest, most powerful member of each school is chosen to represent that element in the governance de Magi. This gives us 7 intelligent, highly qualified members of all the elements that anarchy can commonly be: fire, water, air, earth, light, dark, and aether. We feel it is best that each type of citizen gets a say in the way the world is run, so that there is no tyranny or prejudice towards any one group. Everyone has equal rights, and generally we can all come to an agreement that is satisfactory for us all. Though at times not as adequate as some of us may prefer, the road to hell is paved with compromises. Bah! What? Never mind. As I was saying, this used to be the case, and it was wonderfully utopian, I think, or as close as any race can reasonably approach at least, until that damned violet crystal ruined it all. Since then, the Dark Governor Anu has been taken over as a self-proclaimed master of the GDM, as he best represents the changing minds of the others, and it pains me to think of all this. And on that note, yet again, I am tired of talking of this right now. It brings back unpleasant memories, so if it's all the same to you, can we get a move on now? But first, Rohaf, tell me about this stupid temple. Remember, Mardek, we're on a mission. There's no time for idle banter. Alright, Donovan, tell me. I greatly admire your courage, Sir Mardek. You've been through such a traumatic experience in the past that you carry on with lighthearted optimism regardless. Few others could ever hope to do the same. I'm glad to have you as our commander here. Remember, however, that we do have a mission to do here, so we need to take things seriously. These people are depending on us, and we want to represent the Guard in a favorable light. Our reputation is at stake always. If we slip up, Gosnor will suffer for it, and these people too, of course. Sharla. I'm still here, Mardek. Don't worry about me. I won't. Alright. Now that we're done reading and talking for a good while, we shall carry on. One of these days I'll read a book. Fire Opal. A variety of opal that glows orange due to being instilled with raw fire elemental essence. Is warm to the touch. Speaking of fire, Donovan's skills are all fire-based. Everything's fire. He's a pyromancer, you see. And conversely, Sharla is an aeromancer, and so she only uses air stuff. The Fire Opal can teach wildfire to someone who is not with us right now, but can give you the passive ability of Strength +1. Mardek has every passive ability under the sun. So I don't really know what I want to do. I'll give it to Mardek. He can learn it. He can learn it. What is it? Does Fire Opal give you any stats? No, just some resistance to fire and empowers fire attack. Well, whatever. Honestly, I should replace the pickaxe. Yes, this is the best. Because it's already going to give me the passive strength. So, yes, everything is good, I think. A little sort. Alright. Donovan and Sharla. In case you don't realize my opinions on them, I don't like them. So I'm not going to bother with them. And here is our first opponent, a Revenant. An undead paladin, sort of an oxymoron, wielding a sun axe. Unlike most undead, it is resistant to light and is weak to dark. Otherwise has the other standard weaknesses of air and earth. Earth? Fire. What? Okay. And it's level 9. Sharla and Donovan are level 10. Sharla's also pretty fast. Despite being a loser. And time for Big Mardek to handle the... he could have basically handled it by himself. And we get ourselves the Sun Axe that no one can wield. Oh wait, no one can wield it, yes. It is an axe, yes. right? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Sometimes, some ways, randomly axes are treated as swords, depending on the game. I feel like I should be able to interact with those, but I can't. And here's a mithril sword! Wowee! Does it give me a new skill that makes me get rid of... No. Okay. It's just... If you missed out on the Keyblade, well, here's a sword that's just as strong. So, don't worry about it. But I needed that Keyblade, you see. I had to have it. Alright. 2 more chests in this sandy part of the temple. And another fight. This time an assortment of enemies. The Vega, this sort of spinning sun-looking guy, which is basically how some of the angels look like in the Bible, if you ever think about that. It's a construct, a soul rotor, as it were. You know, sun rotor. Weak to dark. That seems to be the common element here. Here's the Lupazer, which is a lizard. Weak to air. And the Posh Gruel, which is a gruel with a hat, just like the Posh Goblin. And finally, the Seckle is a flying fish, which behaves more like a standard undead, with the standard undead weaknesses. Just in case you were too hopped up on dark attribute, I guess. Alright, time for the team to spread their damage out as appropriate. Alright, again, since I kind of over-leveled Mardek, this is all kind of trivial, more or less. It's just going to be a series of just people getting killed by Donovan and Sharla when they jump them, and then Mardek one-shotting everyone else. So, 10 better potions. And the final chest of this room. Really cold water. Water so frigid that it causes potent water-type damage when it comes into contact with anything. Those are ways... There are multiple items that you can throw at people, and it does damage based on their element. Alright, down this carpeted hallway. And we'll just do the same exact things we were doing last time. Everything's going almost exactly the same. But I'll attack this guy this time. There you go. Light essence. I don't believe that it's a crafting item, I think. I believe there's crafting in this game. Alright. There's another save crystal in case you got too hurt. Because if you were to play the standalone game, Mardek himself would be, I believe, level 10. But since I've been playing through this whole time, he gets to accumulate all of his stats and items and all that. Hello, I'm trapped down here, and hey, is that a warp stone? Yay! You must be upset by the priest whose name I can never remember up on top level. Was it Solakian priest or priest of Solak? Or did he change it to something like side quest priest to be different? Please give that warp stone to me. Thanks for this. I'll use it to get back right away. I can't stand another moment in this place with death breathing down my neck like a... You know. Bye. Oh! Ah! And in his wake, a topaz. An air attribute, crystal elemental sort of thing. Very weak to fire, being air type. Also weak to light for some reason. And we're going to just zap the fish and burn the fish. And then get gem exploded, but then Mardek one-shots the thing. Well, never mind. You see, its defense is 20. That's a lot. It also absorbs air, right? So Sharla's worthless. In general, I mean. Alright, Donovan. You see, the Sun Temple... Oh, a topaz. How lovely. I believe that is like the fire one, except it, well, it gives Sharla a new ability, somebody else a new ability, and agility +1. So Sharla can hold on to it because it's a new thing, but I'll take it from her when we're done with her. And here's a door we can't seem to access. A white gate. It's a large golden door with an enormous moonstone in the center. It won't open, nor can you steal the gem. There's probably some sort of switch somewhere that will cause it to open. Very well. Alchemist Fire, the fire variant of the cold water. Healing Wind can cure HP and confusion. Oh. Also, lizards can breathe fire. Things are not going quite smoothly. But it's okay. Oh. If only we had gotten Zach's contact information, we could have called him on a cell phone and just hired him. So at least I'd have somebody that isn't worthless. Besides Mardek, of course. Lizards. Fire's not gonna do anything. It doesn't matter. So now I'm just trying to find all the chests. Then we'll move on, find all the chests and move on. It's kind of how standard operating procedures go for the temples. And it's a moonstone. It's the light attribute version of the other gemstone. The gemstone family. But this one, Sharla can hurt. Not well enough, but she can hurt it. Ouch. Mardek would have one-shot that, thanks to the Shadow Sword. And it's a moonstone. Let's see what moonstone teaches everyone. Oh, Mardek gets a new skill. Wowee. I'll have a moonstone ring that's way better than a regular moonstone. That's weird. Alright, here you go. So now Mardek can learn regeneration, which restores your HP every turn. That's for more, longer battles that you in boss fights mostly. Oh, hey, it was a trap. In that chest were blood lizards. Blood lizards are fire versions of lizards. Lupazards. They're weak to water. And we don't have that anymore. So they also absorb fire? Was it? Well, I would be casting regeneration, but Mardek is required for attacking, so we'll just have to go at him. Fortunately, it's targeting Donovan, the fire guy, with fire attribute stuff, so that's great. Alright, Mardek. Your time to shine. And regeneration heals you for 10% of your HP every turn. It isn't so much of a thing enemies use, but actually there might be some bosses that do it. But it's not like a standard enemy thing. Oh hey, it's another fire opal, but more importantly, a sun sword. It's even stronger than the mithril sword and keyblade. Unfortunately, it's light attribute, and this dungeon is all light attribute, basically. It would have been very handy last dungeon. More spaceship. Hey, it's Temperance, the totem pole guy. You see, the thing about this guy is you'll notice when I clicked on him, he has a different random head, and that's what he does. His gimmick is that he is of 4 different attributes of air, water, earth, and fire, and whichever the top totem is the attribute of the creature in question. So this one happens to be fire type, which means Donovan's worthless. You can see why I dislike them. They both only do one thing, and they don't necessarily do that one thing very well. However, when you don't have Emila, who could do it all, you have to make do with these specialists. And let's just say I don't want to do that. So Mardek is basically on his own for this fight. Oh boy. I would love to help him, but I have a totem to kill. Now, if all the enemies in this dungeon could just be not air or fire attributed, it would be fine, because then Donovan and Sharla can both equally handle what they're doing, but every enemy here is resistant to probably one of those types. So it gets rather tedious. Small pittance of money and a lost priest. Who are you? Did that priest finally send someone to help me? It's about time. Give me that warp stone. Grumble. Alright, that's 2 priests of 4. Ugh. And here are albino bats. They are light attribute bats that do exactly the same thing as every other bat does ever. So don't worry about them. We'll just do as we always do. Hit him with the 1, 2, 3. And what may this be? Why, it is some sort of switch. A gemstone switch. I found a sun idol, an ancient artifact. It dates back from the Sun Temple's construction. The style of Solak idols have changed since then, making this quite a valuable relic. A collector would surely be interested in it. And some cold water. In case you haven't guessed by now, and you should, Solak is a sun god. Much like Yalort is a dragon god, I believe it was. So that's just kind of the regional deity of here, the sun. Whereas up north people praise dragons. It's a culture thing. Alright, so now that we have cut down that switch, we can do 2 things. Oh, here's a sun door. It's locked tight, but there's a keyhole. With the right key, you'd be able to get through. We don't have that. We can go back and go through that portal. I hate temperances when they're fire attribute or air attribute. Because again, it's Mardek versus the world. I shouldn't even attack with Donovan, but I want him to get XP, and it doesn't even matter that he attacks or not because he's so weak. It doesn't matter if Sharla attacks or not because she's so weak. Now, I'm sure somebody out there loves these 2. They just do. I don't, and I'll say it loudly. And over and over and over again. Plus, because they're such a couple, I just feel like, personally, I can't possibly use one and not the other, and so, I don't want to have two members of my team be hyper-specialized in things that don't matter. Whatever. Alright, so we're gonna go all the way back, because hitting that switch opened up the way. Way back in the other area. Hey, Donovan's level 11. So now we go all the way back, get past that moonstone gate that was over here somewheres. It's not over here? No, it was over here. I know it was. Here we go, all the way back. Wait. I was bamboozled. Oh, his name is Sidequest Priest. There's still priests down there. Please hurry. Every moment you delay could be more chance of them being mauled by bony fish or upper-class ghouls. Wow, I'm sure I'm glad to be up here again with all my dear friends. Thought I was done for down there. I didn't need your help anyway. I could have taken those monsters on myself. I was just busy, and you took me for my work. Brr. Alright, so I was confused. You see, I had thought the Moon Gate was way back in the past, when it turns out it was pretty much right there on this map. And it's an Earth attribute temperance, which means Donovan and Sharla can actually do things. It's amazing. Yay. Sharla's level 11. She's amazing. She's really doing it. Oh. But that's okay. Yes. Yes, that is okay. Like, I wanna cast Regenerate. You don't understand how much I do, but just to master it. Oh, hello, idol. It's an idol of Solak, god of suns. These are sculpted by priests and enchanted with levitation magic to show their devotion to the deity. And is it moving? Gasp! Oh god, it's Antares! A soul rotor, but this time in the mini-boss flavor. Well, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of muck about. What was it, week 2 again? I didn't even look. Week 2, Dark, Aether, and Fig. Don't worry about Fig, but week 2, Dark and Aether. Mardek has a dark sword, and that's it. It also has, what, more defense than magic defense. And we'll just start regenerating some people. And the solar flare, that does light attribute damage to everyone. Let's just kill it, I guess. Just standard, heal the damage you take, deal the damage needed, that sort of thing. The guy is kind of a pushover, especially compared to what we've already been facing. There's nothing really to him. The only thing notable, I guess, is that he can do that AoE light attack and cast barriers on himself, but, you know. Now here's the thing. Donovan goes, but you think I'm letting him get the final hit? There you go. Mardek is the one who gets the kill, because Mardek is the one that's going to stay here. Hey, it's a sun key. Now we can go to the other place. And we got another topaz, yes. And we can't interact with the idol anymore. Cool. So now that we have the sun key, we can go all the way back. I mean, just across the way. However, I think I've had enough. Enough of Donovan and enough of Sharla. So I'm just gonna call it here. We're just gonna get breathed on by some lizards a little bit. And then I'll call it. Donovan, you you can't even kill weakened lizards. Fine. We're just gonna drag this out as long as we can then. And by as long as we can, I mean, Sharla, please. Thank you. Alright. Alright. So there was a lot of fluff talk here, but next time, it'll be more straight into it. More straightforward. More just exploration. And I think next time we meet a new friend that I'm looking forward to. Because then I'll have someone to use and love and care about other than Mardek. He's a cool guy, you know, but it's nice to have more than one. Alright. That's it. See you.